we have to start communicating across generations. You know, I feel like specifically in the past couple of years, there's been sort of this separation of generations where older generations are talking down to young generations, younger generations aren't even looking at the older generations for guidance. And we have to get back to older generations not necessarily saying the grass is greener when we grew up. We have to understand that the younger generation is going to get it how they can get it. They're going to get it how we help them create how to get it. The younger generations, you know, and I say this word in the most honest way, but younger generations are somewhat ignorant. That's not a hyperbolic word. It's ignorant is to not know something. So if a younger generation doesn't necessarily know how to go about doing something, older generations can put their arms around them and say, hey, if you're willing to listen, we have been down this path before. We can understand, I can empathize with you. I can give you the game to get to where you're going. You know, I always say my first child was actually my younger brother. His name is Cameron. That's who like Dylan is based off of. And he's 7 years younger than me. And I always say like, yo, you're my first kid because I learned how to parent by watching you and teaching you all the ups and downs in life. And a lot of those moments was just seeing him hit his head over things that I had already been through myself, and I'm grabbing him and holding him against the wall like, hey, I have been through this before. Mm-hmm. I understand what you're going through. Can you please sit down and listen to me? So I think when it comes to just the generations getting back together, the youth in here understand that the elders that you're looking at, that you're being taught by, they've been through this experience. They understand exactly what you're going through. That's why I talk about my inner child right there. It's like, I've been in the positions that you guys have all been in. Get game from these older generations. And the older generations in this room understand that like the youth is not lost. The youth is the future. This is who I do it for. This is my why. This is why I get up in the morning. This is why I work so hard. This is why I'm here today, is creating a world that they can smile and be fulfilled in. Now, moving forward with that, don't laugh. You guys are going to laugh. I know you guys are going to laugh. This is me. This is 5th grade Spencer. This is the kid that couldn't really breathe out of his nose. This is the kid that couldn't really see straight, had a couple crooked teeth here and there. You can see it. A little chubby. He was every girl's best friend, you know? You guys remember that. The adults here can understand what I'm about to say. As you move forward in life, you will always attempt to reconnect to that inner child of yours. You will always try to make that inner child of yours happy. A lot of the adults in here still see themselves as their version of this right here. As much as I've accomplished, as much as I've done, as much as I've failed, I always think about how this kid right here is looking at me. Some of you guys in this room right now are the age that I am in this picture. You will always try to reconnect to that inner child of yours. So as you continue down this road of development, of exploration, of living life, please stay connected to that inner child. Make decisions that will make that inner child happy of yours. And finally, what I always like to leave everybody is a lot of the decisions that you will make, both in what school you end up going to, what career decisions you want to do or want to get into, it kind of always all boils down to how much money I intend to make. It all boils down to what does that salary look like? Can that opportunity allow for me to make extra money here and now? What we don't often talk about is how we want our life to feel. As you're moving forward in life, making these big decisions that will accumulate into the life that you want to live, include that question in your analysis of the world. The decisions that you make, how does that make your life feel? And if you can ask yourself that question, and that feeling doesn't feel too good, you're totally fine walking away from it. And you know why? The inner child in you will thank you for that. So with that being said, thank you for having me.